guys, Ash here, Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video. I'm not alone. I'm joined by Skratch. Skratch, what's up, man? How you doing?
Yo, what's up, Ash? Doing great.
Are you a member of the Supreme Club, bro? You in the Supreme
Not yet.
Club?
I'm trying to find out how can I become one and master the universe.
Well, in today's video, we're going to talk about this that caught everybody by surprise, except for maybe you, and maybe there was like a data mine thing that went back, kind of alluding to something like this a couple of weeks ago. We're still lacking any specifics. Well, I shouldn't say any. We have Plarium has spoken to us creators a little bit, so I can give you the gist of what they've said so far, which isn't a ton, but it's more than this, right? So let me read it here. Supreme Club. In this update, we're excited to introduce the Supreme Club, a new initiative aimed at fostering a unique community and enhancing players' gaming experience through exclusive services. This initial launch is a limited test with invitations going out to select members of our player base. We're eager to expand the club, offering more players the opportunity to join as we refine and enhance the offerings based on your feedback and our ongoing development plans. Boy, that is not a lot of info off of 4 sentences or whatever, you know?
We know what it is, though. Yeah. We know what it is, basically, yeah.
Yeah, so your initial thoughts, I'm assuming, just like everybody else was, okay, this is a Spenders Club. Spenders Club, right?
Yeah.
So
pretty much a VIP club, basically. So all of
this is actually very normal in the genre, right? Like all the Chinese games, I feel like do this. Dragonair did it. A bunch of the other gachas do this. How does it work? Well, we actually have some screenshots on how it works. Basically, in Dragonair, it was like what, $1,000 a month you had to spend for consideration. This is Dragonair,
it was in between $1,000 and $3,000 to spend to be part of the club, you know. The Pioneers Club, if I remember correctly, was named the Pioneers Club. Yeah,
this is a screenshot of like this guy getting invited to the Pioneers Club, and basically whatever. They get like birthday gifts, like 2 legendary scrolls essentially on your birthday. Here's a screenshot of that. Again, this is Dragonair. I want to be very clear. There's nothing to do with Raid, but just an example of like what the club looks like in other games. The Pioneer Club, as you know, and it seems like this is Plarium's response to do something like that. So before we give the Plarium response really quickly here, I want to give you 2 takes.
All right.
Honestly, I hate to ride the fence here, and I've been pretty damn assertive with my opinions, but I think I land between these 2 hot takes. I want to see where you land. One is, listen, every business takes care of their highest paid customers, right? You go on an airline, you're a big spender, first class, you get even more perks, right? They take care of you. They want you to stay there in their airline, right? Same thing with credit card perks. Same thing with any business. They're going to take care of their biggest stock owners versus their smallest minority shareholders, right? So it's not a surprise that a business is taking care of their most valuable assets, their highest paying customers. So it makes perfect sense they'd continue to double down. That's one side. The other extreme would be, this is already a game, a video game, right? That, first of all, a video game is a lot different than an airline or a credit card company. It's a video game where it's already so skewed in terms of the massive gap between free-to-play and pay-to-win. And do they really need to give $1 million accounts or $100,000 accounts more free resources, especially given how much they spend already? Like, is that necessary? Does that just further divide the bridge or the gap between the biggest whales in the game and everybody else in the community? If indeed this is how it works, which again, we have a little bit more on that. But I wanted to get your take. Like, where do either of those arguments resonate with you? And if so, which one more?
So the first one is 100% reality, right? Like, it happens in every single industry. And the thing is, as you mentioned in the second option, right, is a game, is a pay-to-win game. The thing is, all of these games, they just start to incorporate successful things from different businesses, right? Even if they're completely unrelated to gaming. So slowly, they're all going to make all sorts of different transitions that will take care of their best assets, which in this case are the big spenders. So I feel like they won't be really giving them a lot of extra free things and stuff. I'm sure they will give them like a happy birthday gift, like a holiday gift, you know, just to kind of like make them feel special, because that's the whole plan of the VIP program in every single game and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm always saying it, you know, and I know a lot of people will hate me for saying it again, but basically, free-to-play player free-to-play player that complains about whales instead should say thank you, whale, for spending all those
Thank
money
you,
in the game
whale.
so I can enjoy a free-to-play game. Because let's be honest, right? And I'm not saying it because I'm a whale or anything like that. It's just the reality, and I just choose to basically understand that is the reality. A free-to-play game will not exist without spenders, right? What would be Raid without the whales? Closed, right? The game will just not be running because who's gonna pay the bills? So that's why I feel like it's not a bad thing that they're doing it. Most likely, what they're gonna do with it is create a Discord server or have a different way of communicating, maybe in-game.
Well, they did say it's a
messages.
Discord server, so yes, that
It's a
is going to
Discord
be,
server, right?
yeah.
So they're gonna do that. They're gonna invite the people there. A lot of the people will have issues with payments, right? So you gotta wait for support like 24 hours, 48 hours to get a reply. Sometimes maybe you're gonna get banned one day because for whatever Plarium Play decided not to take the money from that account, and it happens, even if you have the money there. So basically, I feel like they're gonna try to offer them extra support, basically. So instead of waiting 24, 48 hours to get your response and solve your issues, I feel like that will be their main priority with the whole thing, rather than just putting them, I don't know, at the top of the world or something like that. So I don't think it's a bad thing. I feel like it's very normal. Like I've played tons of different games that have it. As you mentioned, most of the Chinese games offer this. I used to play a game where I probably used to spend like $100 a month or so, and I used to be part of that, and basically they used to send you a gift every now and then. They used to maybe give you a slightly better offer on some things, but that's about it.
Okay, I think that I am largely with you regarding the like whales get a bad rap, but they also they play an important role in the ecosystem.
Absolutely.
However, I guess just to give you devil's advocate a little bit, not to pander to the free to play audience, because I'm certainly a whale as well, but I don't think that anybody has a problem with the value of whales. Like I think that most people that I hear from, I feel like they acknowledge the value of what you just put out there. I think it's more about the gap of the wealth gap, so to speak, of I think that it's just the aggressiveness of the pricing in this game in particular. And I know this is the same across the genre, but at the same time, it's just like, wow, when it's going to cost me $1,000 to open up, 100 or whatever, 150 primal shards, it's too excessive,
It is.
So I think that causes some friction that makes some of these other conversations, it's just difficult to approach them without feeling like almost emotional about it. Like, are you serious again? Anyway, let's give some info. So we don't have a lot, but there are a lot of people asking, like, okay, what can we share with the community? Everybody's on Reddit. Everybody's asking. I have this funny one here. They're like, the Supreme Club. Does this mean that I have? Do I need all the Supreme champions to get in the Supreme Club? He's like, I got them all. I'm ready to go, or I have whatever. So, no, I don't think it means you need all the Supreme champions to get in.
Unfortunately, no, I have those too, but most likely I'm not going to be part of the Supreme Club.
I think they sent email invites on your Plarium. I think that's how or it could be in game, but we don't know. So, you're in the top clans. All the top players. Nobody is talking about getting invites. So it seems like nothing has been launched yet. Like there's been no invites out, because we would have known, these players would have been involved. Certainly we have no insight beyond this. So basically it's not, someone asked, is this random? Because it makes it sound like it almost might be a random thing, the way that they worded it, right? About limited test of invitations to members of our player base, but they do say select members. I think that word select is loaded, the most important word in the paragraph, right? This is not random, confirmed, right? Not random. There's an algorithm with various criteria that determines player eligibility, but mainly it focuses on lifetime and last 2 months They didn't say this
Contribution.
spending, but I think they said contribution or something like that. But like, so it's some sort of an algorithm that balances their lifetime spent expenditures with their most recent expenditures. It sounds like to get is considered the club. As we said, historically, other games that threshold is around $1,000 minimum a month. But who knows? There's nothing confirmed on the Raid side. We do know that it's a Discord server, and we do know that it's a way for, like, why are they doing this? And they said basically it's a way to show appreciation to devoted Raid fans, to recognize their contributions to the game and the community. It's a private club with some perks to the most engaged players, and where they can communicate with each other, discuss the game, participate in activities, have that developer access. So where I stand is with all that, they didn't say anything about compensation, right?
Yeah.
I personally am totally understanding. Like, I get it's not fair. I totally understand that. But I'm understanding of providing a streamlined way to give feedback to the community as a perk of being a top spender in a game like this. On the other hand, the inherent problem there, Skratch, is that just because you're a top spender, I think there is a big argument to be made that you should have perks, you know? But
Yeah.
should those it's weird. I almost feel like I have an unorthodox opinion on this, whereas if they were going to give a couple free legendary books on their birthday, if they were going to give the content creator perks, we have the program, right, where we get like, what do we get? Like a handful of gems and a legendary skill tome, you know, and like
I actually
it's all
recorded
public.
the video on that topic.
It's all public. It's not
crazy.
yeah. But if they were going to give those to the top spenders, even though it doesn't make sense because they already spend, it does, like, who cares? But I'd actually be cool with it. But to give a preferred level of direct, and I want to be clear, this is not exactly, they didn't say this, but it sounds like direct access to developers to give feedback on the game. Although I do value whale feedback, right? Like, because they're hardcore, but there's also a lot of hardcore non-whales, right? The boozer type dudes of the world that their say should be actually just as valuable, because although they don't spend, so they get negative points for that, they also experience the game like the majority of the player base. Ergo, their feedback should be weighed very heavily as well. And if they don't have the same opportunity to, and again, I was just out of fairness here. They did not say you have to spend X amount of money. It sounds that way very, very heavily.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
I think it's like every game though.
So what do you think, man? What do you think about that opinion there? Because like that's I guess that's the only issue I have with it. It's just like, okay, direct player support, I'm having a problem with my account, no issues. Direct feedback as in like, this is where we want to see the game go, I don't have issues, as in I think they should have a voice, but I think that the others should too, is what I'm trying to say, you know?
Yeah. So as I mentioned a few minutes ago, right? Free-to-play players can say thank you to Wales for keeping the game alive, but at the same time, it's an ecosystem that will not work without the free-to-play players. So while the Wales keep the game alive from a spending point of view, the free-to-play players are playing a massive role as well in the community, and they should 100% have pretty much the same voice in terms of what changes should be done. Yes, there are a lot of people constantly crying about not getting legendary champions because they're opening the shards all over the place and stuff. It's just is one of those things as well, right? But there are a lot of people bringing in very valid points in terms of feedback, right? In terms of what should improve in the game. And as you mentioned, they are the majority of the players. Even if they spent a few bucks, you can't really put them in the group of whales, right? So they spend $100 in their lifetime in the game. They still experience the game like the majority of the players, which is kind of like on the low spend free to play, right? So they definitely should have a strong opinion on feedback and stuff. Like offering customer support, faster customer support to big spenders is normal, right? Like as you mentioned,
sure,
you can buy it on a airplane, right? Like maybe you're gonna get fast tracking, you're gonna skip the queue, etc. You know, like that's normal. Every business offers that, but only taking feedback from whales and trying, I'm not sure if they're just kind of like trying to play it in a way where, let's keep them under the impression that they're feedback is important and we're going to listen to that and make
Yeah.
them feel special, or
Yeah.
they actually plan to listen to the feedback that the whales are kind of like providing. In Dragonair, for example, because we were talking about that before, they used to listen a lot to the whales in terms of feedback and stuff. So the dupes in Dragonair, you were basically able to empower the champions up to like with 5 copies. After, you were not able to do anything else with the dupes. So what they've done, because they listened to the feedback, they've created such an OP busted system that they instantly had to reverse, because even the whales got scared of it. Basically, infinite empowerment. So you're always going to gain something by empowering a champion with the dupes. So
well, yeah, let's hope that player.
So they listen
yeah.
to that's basically something that they got from the whales, and they instantly had to reverse it because everybody went crazy with it. So I'm hoping it's not going to be the same sort of we listen to feedback and actually do some dumb things like that, because
And we'll have, like, I asked Plarium for an interview, and I think that it sounded like they're willing to come on here, the channel, either this month or next, or before the end of the year, at least, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we'll get more clarity. And as soon as we get more information on this, like, I'm sure we could have a follow-up chat either on my channel or yours, Skratch. We just put out a collab as well on Skratch's channel. I should mention that at the top. My bad. But I think that's pretty much it, at least in my opinion. In terms of like what we actually have for info right now, but overall, I'm like, I'm a little, I don't know, as long as they're not giving direct game feedback, I think it's okay to take care of your top spenders. That's the kind of where I, but then if you're putting them in a Discord server with Plarium, even if the intent is not to give direct feedback, isn't that doing that though? I don't know. I just want equal representation of the entire community, because honestly, I learn a hell of a lot. I'm corrected every day by players who spend way less than I do in the game. And I know they have a lot to contribute to the future direction of the game. I also wanted to give a massive shout out to USMC, a disabled veteran who actually finally, after years, or at least over a year, finally got his actual like 100% disabled veteran and actually has support that he needs in my clan. So I saw that going on live in the chat in the background.
Awesome.
He's like, big news. And I'm like, did you join the Supreme Club? And he's like, no, that. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Better than
anyway,
the Supreme Club.
Yeah. Anyway, listen, guys, if you're not already subscribed to Skratch, check out his YouTube channel. We do collabs all the time, and he does collabs with a million other awesome creators. And he's also first on the news. You've been Johnny on the spot lately. So props to you, man. So I deliver almost no news content here on the channel. So if you're looking for raid news on a daily basis, look no further than Skratch's channel. Skratch, thanks again for coming on, man. Appreciate it.
Pleasure as always, brother. And yeah, peace.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for the video. Thank you for watching all the way till the end. And as always, take care, guys.